What a mad month that was, lad. Fucking hell. But yeah, man, August was mad. 3 tough fixtures, 2 being away from home, 1 at Old Trafford and Anfield. And especially after that Anfield result, there was a lot of negativity going around the club. But you know what? I've had time to think, and it's time to just look at the positives. So this video is about where Arsenal go from here and how we can push on to get some traction back in this title race. Although we felt hard done by that 1-0 loss to Liverpool at Anfield, there's positives to take from the run of games we've had. Let's start at Old Trafford. We showed we were able to knuckle down even when we're not playing well and show resilience and come out with the result. Even though we faced 22 shots on our goal, we still managed to peel out of there with a 1-0 win, thanks to Calafiori. The next week after that, we destroyed Leeds 5-0, with Saka and Gyökeres getting off the mark, and it being Gyökeres' first 2 goals in an Arsenal shirt. Not to forget that Timber had scored the brace as well. This was a great way to return to the Emirates and remind everyone that we're still here competing for the Premier League title. The loss at Anfield had fans feeling dejected, and after having some time away to think about it, I think we should ignore the noise from the pundits and all the self-haters. We lost to a worldie from a free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai. And before that goal went in, we were up against the best team in England, and we were both cancelling each other out. It was a bit of a ball fest, but any other day, that would have been a 0-0 draw. Going into this month, we have 6 players out due to injury, which is kind of mad actually. But when you look at it, some of these players may make a return. I mean, I'm looking at William Saliba, who sprained his ankle, but I'm not even worried about that because, after the way Mosquera played, I think we're in more than capable hands in that area of the field. I mean, I'm looking at Martin Odegaard to be back as well. He only fell on his shoulder. I mean, that's something that could heal by itself, I don't know if it was dislocated or what, but I'm expecting him to be back for the September run of games. Also, Norgard and White suffered knocks, so, they're being assessed on a week-to-week basis. There'll be players back, but what I want to talk about is the squad depth. Who can step in? At the moment, Victor Gyökeres is our only recognised striker at the club. I'm not saying that I don't have a problem with it, but it means we're in sort of the same position we were in last year before we even bought him. I'm also looking forward to seeing Eberechi Eze. I don't want to get back into Martinelli again, but he's someone who should be starting these games, especially on the left side. And also, if Odegaard ain't fit, he can step in as well and fill in that number 10 position. We don't know when Saliba's going to come back, but I'm sure we will see him back in September. I think Mosquera, he showed himself, he showed his quality, so I'm not worried in that position. I'm not really worried. And that's what's good about this squad depth that we've got right now. I'm not worried about any of these injuries. And it seems that Andrea Berta and Arteta have done their due diligence there in making sure that we've got adequate cover. We've also got Nkapie as well, who can definitely fill in for, if Gabriel goes down or Saliba, or even keep Gabriel out of his place. Who knows, man? These signings it could be a transformative thing, for the future. Those first group of games were a massive test for us, and not many teams will get out of there with 6 points. So even though we didn't come out of there with all 9 and lost at Liverpool, we've got a lot of good things to look forward to. So when we return back in September, we face off with Nottingham Forest at home. And usually this team's quite tough to face. Last year they played some decent football under Nuno Espirito Santo and just missed out on the top 4 positions. So usually I'll be looking at this as a hard fixture. But recently it's been a bit weird over there, man. I don't know, something's going on between the manager and Marinakis. To be honest, I don't follow Nottingham Forest like that, so I don't know what to make of it. But from the outside looking in, it looks like Nuno Espirito Santo is going to be gone. Him and Marinakis aren't getting along, and it's just looking like there's a bit of a tug of war, in terms of power. So going forward, I'm hearing Jose Mourinho might be in there, which, welcome back Jose, because he's just lost his job at Fenerbahce. Hopefully, with all this stuff going on at Nottingham Forest, there could be an advantage there for us. We can look to capitalise and take the 3 points in that game as well. But it will still be a tough fixture. So, fingers crossed we get out of there with the 3 points. Next is a massive showdown against Manchester City. And I don't need to say much about this game. We all know how it ended last time, 5-1 to the Arsenal. But there's a lot of animosity between the players. It looks like a true rivalry has built up over the years. And Manchester City just don't look the same. We thought last year was a blip with Rodri being out. And, maybe the players were just burnt out after winning it all previously. But the players just don't look the same. I don't see why we can't beat them. They're coming to our ground. They've got a new team who can't... It doesn't look like they seem to be gelling as well as, us established teams like, let's say Arsenal or even Liverpool. It looks like they've got a lot of work to be done. And, could Pep for another few more bad results, could he be leaving? I don't see why we can't beat them at our ground. You know, it's our ground, and then will be more pressure on them to beat us, I think, than us to beat them. So if we can beat Manchester City, we can show the rest of the league that we're ready to compete and hopefully just get over the line this year, man. And next is Newcastle away. That ground is just always hell for us. Recent years, we've just been getting dominated in the mid-block. Eddie Howe seems to know how to set up well against us. But there are some things that have changed. Alexander Isak, who was our bane. See, I went to that Carabao Cup semi-final, was it quarter-final? Anyway, I went to that game when he downed us, you know. And I remember the other game in the Premier League where he downed us with that header from the cross from Gordon. So it's going to be a very tough game, but I don't see why we don't get the 3 points, man. I mean, they've got Johan Wissa, they've got that Volta Murder guy, Volta Medi. They've got 2 new players who can hope to fill the boots of Alexander Isak. But hopefully we get the 3 points. So, you know, I think we will. You know, we've got the squad depth now. We've got a few injuries, but we can build some momentum, you know. So I don't see why the Liverpool result should knock us back in a sense. I just want to look at the Premier League table as well. So after the first 3 games last month, we stand at 3rd place with 6 points. Hopefully, you know, after these next 3 games in the Premier League, I just hope we don't drop off any further, because after that, you know, the writing's on the wall. The Premier League's done. But I still think, you know, with Liverpool at the top, and we played them, and I still think there's a few leaky mistakes in their defence. One team we're not really focusing on, which I think we should be, is Chelsea. I mean, but they do this every year, but João Pedro's firing, and they're just starting to pick up a bit of rhythm, a bit of belief, and I think they're a dangerous team. But who knows, man? It's the Premier League, but I'm just worried about Arsenal. Hopefully we can get our 3 games, 9 points. 6 would be good, but 9 would be excellent. Let's go. Anyway, this has been a preview for the next 3 games. More videos to come. This is On to Victory. Let's get it. Gunners all day. Rah, rah.